The enduring riddle, a celestial link between worlds. Could the origins of human civilization be intrinsically tied to a distant, undiscovered world? This question has captivated thinkers, researchers, and dreamers. It posits our ancestors were not alone, but guided, or even created, by beings from beyond Earth. The narrative speaks of a wandering planet called Nubiru, whose cyclical journey brought the Anunnaki, gods of Sumerian lore. This is not just mythology, it is a re-examination of sacred texts and archaeological records. The Allure, a grand theory explaining the sudden rise of sophisticated civilization. Why did humanity leap from primitive bands to complex, organized states with astronomy, mathematics, and law almost overnight? The 12th planet. Unearthing the Nubiru hypothesis. The genesis of the modern understanding of Nubiru traced to a meticulous and controversial re-examination of Sumerian texts, Akkadian texts, and Babylonian texts. Mainstream scholarship reads these tablets as allegory, but read them as history, as fact, and ancient scribes recorded literal origins. A 12th member of our solar system, Sun, Moon, the then-known planets, and a planet called Nubiru, the planet of the crossing. With a vast, highly elliptical orbit, about 3,600 years, its path enters the inner solar system, crossing other planets. Who were the beings the Sumerians worshipped as gods? The cuneiform texts call them the Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came. Not ethereal spirits, but physical beings of flesh and blood, who traveled from their homeworld, Nubiru. Their mission was driven by a crisis threatening their planet and atmosphere. They needed gold. Not for wealth, but for a vital technological purpose. Suspended particles could shield Nubiru and preserve its climate. Earth held gold in sufficient quantities. Bases in southern Africa and Mesopotamia began a long-term extraction. After millennia, the miners mutinied. Enki, chief scientist, proposed a radical solution. Using genetic engineering, they created a primitive worker, upgrading Earth hominids with Anunnaki DNA, Homo sapiens, the Adamu, made in their image. Central to this view is the brilliant star Sirius, revered by countless ancient cultures, most notably the Egyptians. Its heliacal rising heralded the Nile inundation and the New Year. Sacred structures encoded Sirius into their foundations. Isis, linked to Sopdet, embodied a divine maternal force. Far beyond Egypt, other cultures shared this focus. The Dogon of Mali preserved a complex cosmology around Sirius, including knowledge of Sirius A and the dense companion Sirius B. Modern astronomy confirmed what their traditions already held. They speak of the Nomo, visitors from the Sirius system, weaving the threads, connecting Sirius to the Anunnaki saga. Seen together, the mysteries converge within an interstellar history. The Anunnaki, masters of the cosmos, traversed vast distances. Sirius, prominent and near, could serve as a regional base. This lens explains the Dogon's advanced star knowledge. Enki's water-linked imagery mirrors Nomo traditions, a cultural memory of contact. Egypt's veneration of Isis Sirius aligns with an inherited celestial way station. Sirius does not replace Nubiru, it complements it as a vital node, a gateway marking the path to Earth, remembered across myths. The scientific establishment meets Nubiru with skepticism and dismissal. They cite decades of surveys and the lack of direct observation. No massive planet with a 3,600-year orbit has been found. They argue such a world would be unmistakable and already detected. Critics add that an intrusive orbit would disrupt planetary stability. They point to long-term stability as evidence against a crossing planet. Assyriologists dispute translations, Nubiru as a point, or Jupiter, even Mercury. They accuse technologic misreadings of religious allegory. Yet paradigms shift, and absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Distant orbits may elude present instruments. Ancient texts, read with open inquiry, still speak. We stand at a crossroads, where ancient myth meets modern discovery. Nubiru, the Anunnaki, and Sirius challenge our conventional history. From clay and stone to oral tradition, a cohesive narrative emerges. Perhaps our myths are memories, and our lineage, cosmic. Ultimately, you must decide: sanitized gaps, or a stellar origin written across the night sky. As we search the heavens, are we looking into emptiness, or awaiting the return of our long-remembered visitors?